with the fucking medkit, you pussy ass bitch. Ain't you very efficient, bro? You're fucking cheating, dude.
Hey, nice with the perfect efficient cheese chest piece, bro. It's cheesy as fuck. You just run and put it back on. Get the fuck out of here.
Switching off that chest piece, we got unlimited man kits and shit. Shut your cheating ass up.
They so stupid. When you chest swap and you look at their build real fast, you'll see the damn everyday carrier equipped it. And you know, none of them run everyday carrier.
Nah. Yeah, it push toes was running around chest piece swapping because this nigga when they put on highs, the GRP.
Oh, fucking Cronus Zen is out.
Yes.
What's happening? Glitch, What? No glitch.
No glitch, no kill.
Script using, bitch.
What scripts am I using?
That medkit glitch. You're not gonna use it. You script looking at bitch. Pop it regularly. Pop it regularly.
What's going on, guys? UK's Mike James, and today we're going to be talking about chest swapping, the medkit trick, efficient exploit, whatever you want to call it. I've tried to structure the video the best I can with timestamps, as there's a lot of different topics to discuss. Feel free to pass to a part that you're most interested in. This video is not me trying to persuade anyone to use it or not, but just to give some facts on the situation and also opinions from both sides of the argument that I've heard. Some I agree with and some I disagree with. I'll try to remain as unbiased as possible so you can make up your own mind on which side to be on, and so you can see the situation in its entirety. The video will contain clips of players using the medkit trick to show examples. Please take no offense from this. I may miss something, as most PvP players know about this trick, and I have not spoken to the entire community regarding the topic. Feel free to add something or ask any questions in the comment section. For argument's sake, I'll be calling it the medkit trick for the rest of the video. Reasons for this being are: saying chest swapping doesn't describe it properly, as you can swap your chest without medkitting, and also the medkit trick isn't just used for swapping chests. As for the efficient exploit name, there's a few arguments to it that it is not an exploit, but we'll get to that later in the video. This was originally discovered by Cryptonomous, a fellow content creator on Twitch and YouTube over a year ago. He called it the medkit trick, so it's only fair for it to be the name to go by. Not to mention it's the only name that describes it perfectly. He originally contacted me before he ever posted that first YouTube video, and because I'm a full-on bot, I told him it wasn't possible on console, which most of us know by now that it is.
Apparently this is only possible on PC.
So what is the medkit trick? The medkit trick allows you to go into your menu whilst medkitting. This is mainly used to swap to the perfect efficient chest piece. The benefit of this is that it allows you to gain the two benefits of perfect efficient: the extra medkit strength and the chance of a refunded medkit, whilst at the same time not having to main the chest piece, allowing you to run unbreakable, intimidate, or whatever you fancy. People can take this trick to the next level, swapping from unbreakable to obliterate if their unbreakable is on cooldown, or using it to swap other pieces on their build, even their skills. However, doing this also brings multiple disadvantages to the player. It takes longer to medkit, as you need to switch chests back and get out of your menu. Your vision is blocked, so you can't see whether to cancel the medkit.
Oh shit, I didn't see you, mate. Well done, man.
Go on, get him, yeah!
Well done, guys. I didn't see that the fourth guy. Well done, man.
Yep, GG, bud.
Or plan your next move. For example, if there are multiple targets around, you could be planning to shoot the squishy player first. Also, the trick can go wrong, both by hitting the wrong buttons.
Oh shit. I changed my hat? I accidentally put a cowboy hat on! That's so embarrassing!
Or by being staggered during the trick, leaving you with a chest you'd rather not have on. Lastly, as you're unselecting Unbreakable, for example, if you get shot during the trick you can be downed, whereas if you had Unbreakable, you could have stayed alive. Even if you pulled off the perfect medkit trick, you are not invincible like you will hear a lot of people say. Even 1v1s can be lost. You're of course healing more, but a smart player will know not to engage if possible when they see the firewall medkit symbol next to your nameplate, regardless if it's an efficient medkit or not. I've never complained about a chest swap being used against me. I tend to not face tank firewall medkits. However, my opinions are mostly from a solo perspective, so I could see how it could be a problem when you're in a 4-man group. Just gonna add here a few counters to this. There are counters to lots of things in the game. It actually makes me cringe seeing players do nothing but complain about things in the game without even making an attempt to counter them. And the medkit trick seems to just be another one of those things. Some counters are staggering the player using a medkit, not letting them be in a position where you've damaged them but they can safely pull a medkit off, not face tanking the player who's obviously on a medkit, or one-shotting them. As someone who uses perfect efficient as intended for over a year, I can tell you firsthand the list of players who complained about it was far greater than those using their brain trying to counter it.
Serious trauma detected. Rogue agent perfectly efficient. Perfectly efficient. Original.
Mate, you literally know what I'm running,
that
yet you're still face
too,
tanking
man,
down a
and be-
medkit.
Yeah. Shut up, you bitch. Yeah, you took it off YouTube, just like everybody else. Hilo is returning to base. System curtailed. System reactivated. What you got, Chronos running too?
Now, is it an exploit? I wouldn't say this was a simple yes or no without looking at it in greater detail. In the Division 2's Code of Conduct it says exploitation of any new or known bug for personal gain is strictly forbidden. A glitch in gaming is using faults that give an unfair advantage. However, with all the disadvantages I have mentioned to chest swapping, does it give an unfair advantage? That's up to you to decide. You may choose to believe it is an exploit, but still use it, as it's nowhere near as bad as going invisible like the ladder glitch. But if you think it's an exploit, should you be able to pick and choose which exploit to use and not use, regardless of the strength. Other exploits include corner glitching, PvE status effect damage on respawn, both using broken shrapnel traps, which are in my opinion the only inarguably broken skill, and using the exploit for the instant cooldown. All of these have not been patched yet.
Imagine accusing people of cheating when you're fucking exploiting shrapnels. Imagine.
Wow.
It's in the game. It's in the game.
It's in the game, bro.
Then the other one, Pan talking about something. You the one, you can't be calling people cheaters and you're running around with exploding the shrapnels. Exploiting the shrapnels? What? How am I exploiting the shrapnels?
Shut up, Penny. You sound retarded.
You sound soft-boiled.
We'll take off the shrapnel, you take off the apex. How about that?
If you believe it's still an exploit and you refuse to use it because of not wanting to go against the terms of use and the Code of Conduct, then may I remind you that exploiting is not the only thing in the Code of Conduct. Other things in the terms of use that lots of players break include rage quitting, either leaving missions, conflict games, or transferring dark zone servers, using a VPN to join other regions which can cause lag.
How are you in our server? How are you in our server then? How are you in our server? Why do you gotta use VPNs to get into a fucking... Why do you gotta use VPNs to get into a fucking server? Explain that. Why? Explain how you're in our server.
Oh,
I didn't know you owned the server, mate.
Also using inappropriate language like racist or homophobic comments, which is something used against me every time I play.
Bringing traps against the headshot.
Here's a clip of me using the medkit trick. However, I am solo with an unoptimized headshot build against multiple players who are abusing broken traps and being racist. Who do you honestly think is in the wrong here?
Where is it? Oh, I've lost it.
Okay, push.
Detected.
What's up, cheat? Boy, this nigga cheating his ass off.
What? How am I cheating? What cheat am I using?
Shut your fat ass up, cheating ass bitch.
What cheat? You know,
That guy, shut your stupid ass up, white bitch. Good ass up, dude. You cheating ass crack.
your shit, mate.
Shut your crack ass up, you cheating ass white bitch.
Don't be racist.
That nigga shouldn't have. You should be out of Medkit. How you get a Medkit? You ain't got no more Medkit. Come on, dog. How many Medkits you got? You ain't got no more
loads,
Medkits.
mate.
Come on now, dog.
Efficient medkits, and I'm picking them up every time I kill you and your friends.
Now there's two things I want to quickly mention. This is getting into the specifics as to what about the trick is seen as negative. You hear a lot of people talking about talent stacking, getting the benefit from perfect efficient whilst using unbreakable. Talent stacking was what caused the ban wave in 2020, if I remember right. My question is this. You can gain the benefit of perfect efficient and also go back to unbreakable without technically doing the trick with the medkit, as I'm showing right now. Would you consider this to be an exploit? If talent stacking isn't your issue, would you have an issue with someone doing the trick but for a different reason? For example, medkitting while switching to a different item on their build, but without incorporating perfect efficient within the chest swap. Now, is it skilled? Lots of people will argue it either is or it isn't skilled to do. You decide whether or not you think it's skilled being fast enough to medkit. Go into your menu, time it right so you get the benefit of perfect efficient, and switch again to another chest depending on which one you would think would be beneficial in that situation. Some players say how easy it is and how it isn't skilled. Some players can't even do it. If you don't think it's skilled, my question would be, what do you actually think is skilled? Lots of players complain about how broken skill builds are whilst they stack high crit damage and body shot players thinking they're really good at the game. At the same time, lots of these players will say the guns have no recoil. Tell me in the comments what you think would be skilled. Let's talk about the devs, both their inaction and players' thoughts on them. Is the medkit trick intended? I'd guess not. The weird movement that happens when doing it suggests that. I'd say even most chest swappers would say that it was never an intended feature. So off the back of that, let's talk about whether or not that's a reason or not to do it. Players will say the devs didn't intend to do it, so I won't. But at the same time, they will complain about every aspect of the devs. From their lack of content drops, to the balancing issues of everything from traps,
Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
status, overpowered crit builds, etc. You can't use it's not intended as a reason not to do it, when you don't take the dev's side for anything else. Let's talk about the intended things that you hear a lot of people justifying the use of by saying they're in the game. Traps, fire stickies, big shield, pistol, crit, etc. they're all in the game, and these intended things can be far more broken than a stronger medkit. Just to add here, I have contacted Ubisoft support, reported the trick, and tried to get a clear answer from them as to whether or not it is an exploit, but my response was inconclusive. I don't have many bad things to say about the developers. I would have no chance in programming a game and couldn't care less about lack of content drops. I've also an understanding of the pressure that the gaming developers are under and how in changing a core mechanic of the game can cause other issues. This is related to my next point, which is again both a reason for and against doing the trick. The medkit trick was posted on YouTube before the invisibility glitch with the ladders. It also had more views on YouTube than the invisibility glitch. However, the ladder glitch was patched multiple times, but the medkit trick was unchanged and unaddressed by the developers. This could be seen as the medkit trick is a non-issue for the developers. However, it could also be that it is such a core mechanic in terms of how the game works, that changing it is a risk to completely mess up the game's code and not worth the risk to fix. There are other arguments for and against whether it should be done. Some will argue it's being done to them, fight fire with fire as the phrase goes, but I don't believe you should ever complain about something that you would do yourself. You should treat others how you would like to be treated to an extent. You can also argue that you're at a disadvantage even when doing the medkit trick. If you're solo rogue fighting multiple shade agents coming at you with everything in the book, the counter to that being it was you who chose to go rogue and outnumbered yourself and put yourself against those odds. Now, how has this affected the community? To those who see it as a glitch, it gives people another thing for people to complain about, like skills, instead of them using their brain to counter it. It also adds to the whole every player in the dark zone cheats mentality that a lot of players have. Whether that be an apparent macro that was used to do the trick, which actually would be less beneficial, or that a mouse and keyboard or something was used to do it. The more people that accuse people of using devices like a mouse and keyboard that they do not use, the less people will play the game. Some script and M&K accusations here when really it was all streamed with a controller in each hand.
Oh, they're on firewall. They're on fucking firewall, meds. Easy 1v3 with 2 controller, no problem! You like 2 controller, no problem! Easy. I tell him I'm using 2 controllers, man. He's gonna be like, fuck off.
Now, a lot of people look to content creators, and content creators do have an effect on players, not just the build that they use, but also their playstyles and their opinions. The Medkit trick has divided the community, and content creators haven't been left out here. If you don't use the Medkit trick because your favourite content creator doesn't, there are a few things to bear in mind in regards to this. Some content creators create content full time, and want to do the Medkit trick, but don't due to the negativity and loss it can bring to their channels. Some content creators are more than happy to do it when they're playing off stream, but when they're live streaming they don't do it. Some content creators who would laugh at others for doing it, can't even do it themselves. Just to make this clear, this does not apply to all content creators. I bet there are some that could do it, but refuse not to. Don't do it off stream either, or they wouldn't care about their loss of followers or subs. But the list I'd say was fairly small compared to those who don't do it for one of the reasons above that I've mentioned. I hope you've learned something from the video and you're able to see it from both sides now. I will say that I have started to do the Medkit trick, as you can see by the clips. It took me a while to cross over to the quote-unquote dark side, but after weighing up the situation with all the points I've mentioned, I now do it, and my future videos will contain it if I get around to making them. Please feel free to drop a comment, whether it be a question, add-on point, or something I've just completely forgot to mention, and we'll have a discussion about it. We'll leave you now with some gameplay, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Oh, he just aimbotted!
Aimbot! Aimbot!
Rogue agent neutralized nearby. Rogue hive detected.
Oh, he's right here. He's on us. How did he get all that headshot off on you?
Easy as an aimbot.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's cheating. It's all good.
That's crazy.
Know how y'all operate, man. It's all good.
Sad.
I have to do that type of stuff.
Anybody could do that type of shit. All you gotta do is go to Amazon and buy the bullshit. I'm not wasting my goddamn money.
Velocity. I'm gonna die!
It's your boy, UK Mike James.
I killed 2, but there's only 1 left. And he got me. Because I died to tenacity. Some shit. Traps! And hives! Rip Mike. Have you downloaded the app for the headset yet? No, but it's plugged into my console there, man. So that wouldn't help, would it? I don't think. Or would it? Have you downloaded the app for the headset yet? No, but it's plugged into my console there, man.
They said...
So that wouldn't help, would it?
Look how they discussing the cheats while fighting us.
Rogue agent detected.
I can't see a fucking thing, man! He is unbreakable! I've got tenacity, boy! And I'm on fire! This isn't fair, man. I'm on fucking fire. With I had a perfect tenacity proc, bro. I was ready for that, then I got burnt.
But this isn't fair, bro. Hey, shut up. You cheating with the mouse and keyboard. You got numbers going down from tenacity. No shit. Nigga, you don't want to gamble with that shit. That's gambling with your life, dummy.
Exactly. They swear they eagle, bro. That shit ain't no good, bro.
Not when it's gambling with your life.